I'm Charlie from Cambion.
And you're listening to RageRockRadio.com.
Where did you go now? Oh, where did
Welcome everyone to another edition of Hidden Track here on RageRockRadio.com. Matt Connerton back with you again this week, and my guests are this time are two of the members of Cambion. Is that how you say it?
Yep, that's definitely how you say it.
Cambion?
Correct.
Yep. All right. Tell me who you are and what you do in the band.
Well, I'm Matt Gray. I am the singer and one of the songwriters in the band. And yeah.
Okay.
I'm Charlie, and I play guitars, and I also help with songwriting.
Okay. And where does the name come from? Because we were kind of talking about that a little bit before we started. It sounds French to me.
It's not French, it's Latin, I'm pretty sure. But Cambion is actually a medieval legend. It's basically a child that was born that was part human, then part something else. So kind of like a supernatural little thing going on.
Well, that sounds frightening.
Frightening? I always thought it was kind of cool. We found it on Wikipedia one day and thought it was pretty nice. And
it was one of those days where you get really lost on Wikipedia. You know,
Sure.
you start looking for something about airplane glue, and you end up,
Oh, yeah.
on, medieval legends.
Right, of course. And what do you guys sound like? Because I saw you guys live when I met you in Boston, and you were definitely, you guys stood out as being pretty unique among the bands that night. How would you describe your sound?
Power, pop, punk, rock. Any combination of those four words would probably work out pretty well.
Yeah.
With a piano.
With a piano,
With a
right.
piano, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the unique part. What influences you guys? Who are some of your influences? I have a couple in mind that I think you might say, but I don't want to say what I think they are.
As far as for when our songs come out, it would be our friends and just people we know, because that's where all the stories are about or influenced from. But as for music, probably starting from the Rolling Stones, and then working our way up to kind of like the pop rock stuff of Something Corporate or Lustra or Lucky Boys Confusion.
Definitely Lucky Boys Confusion.
Yeah.
What about like Billy Joel and some of that piano and Elton John, and because that's what I was thinking of when I saw you guys live, and I was even thinking Ben Folds a little bit.
Oh yeah,
He's crazy into Ben Folds.
Really? Yeah?
Lots of it.
Him
no
and
kidding.
our piano player as well.
Now, how many guys are in the band? Is it
It's a four-piece.
4-piece? Okay.
Yeah. So we also, aside from the two of us, there's drums and piano.
Okay, right. So you have no bass player, and that's the other thing that's unique.
We don't have a bass player, but Jake, who plays piano, is playing the bass parts on his keyboard.
Oh, okay, like the Doors.
Exactly,
and,
like the Doors,
exactly.
yes.
Are they an influence on you guys too, or?
I
More Charlie than me, but
Really?
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I've actually once met Robbie Krieger too.
Oh, no kidding.
But I never really listened to them that much growing up. I mean, I heard the stuff, obvious. I wouldn't call them one of my influences, though, I don't think.
What's Robbie Krieger like? Because I've heard he's kind of a jerk.
No,
I'm just kidding.
This was like a year ago, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's he's not that tall, actually. He's
really?
He's getting old too, and I was worried that he wasn't going to be able to hold the guitar,
Yeah.
but he did and played well. So
Did you meet him when they did that tour with?
I met him when he did a clinic at my college.
Oh, okay.
Back, and I was working as a stage crew for the school, so I met him then.
Now, do you guys find it difficult to find bands that are suitable to team up with for shows, or because it's definitely a different vibe? For example, the show that I saw you guys at, it was a lot of, it was a combination of metal and some sort of, just a lot of guitar-driven rock, and you guys definitely stood out as being unique. Is that a challenge, or?
I find that we tend to blend well with a lot of different people. A lot of the shows that we put together, we actually choose like very different and distinct things. I mean, we did a show 2 weeks ago where we had we played with some of our friends, OK Captain, who are kind of like a Nirvana kind of trippy kind of sound, and the Ex-Girlfriends, who are a comedy. I don't know. Would you say
folk rock?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Folk rock.
They're upright bass, acoustic guitar, and mandolin right now.
Really?
And it's three girls playing a bunch of songs about vaginas. And
Cool.
I've never heard "pussy" said so much in one set.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good.
Sounds cunty to me.
Yes.
Yeah, they use that one a lot too.
Oh, excellent. Well, Hammer would enjoy them. It's his favorite word.
I bet it's vag-tastic also.
Actually, I think that's what they put on their posters.
Nice. Now, how long have you guys been around?
Well, Matt and we've been writing together since we first met in college, and that was about 3 years ago now.
Okay.
But the band itself has probably only been around for about a year and a half since we had our first gig.
Yeah, we
Am I right about that?
well, we started writing together for a while before we started the band, but
Yeah.
once we had 7 or 8 songs, we really wanted to expand out and
Yeah.
start playing these songs out, especially because you can't really play rock without a drummer and a bass player, or in our case, our really good friend Jacob Glickman stepped up, and because we wanted a keyboard player, but we were having problems finding a bass, and he stepped up, filled up the part, and he does it really well
Yeah.
in kind of a unique way, because he comes to it as a piano player, but he's studied the bass very a lot, so it's interesting to see what he comes up with. A lot more movement than you would normally associate with the genre.
Now, you guys both identified yourself as contributing songwriters. Do the other guys write too, or do you guys handle most of the songwriting duties?
Well, Jake writes for himself and for his, when he was in school, he had to write, obviously, a lot. But as far as for the band, it's pretty much the two of us, and then we take it to the other guys to arrange.
All right. Well, let's hear something. What do you guys want to play from your disc?
I guess the good one to start off with would be Beneath These Words.
Beneath These Words, okay.
That is a very new song, actually. We wrote it probably just 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh, cool, okay.
And recorded a demo of it, and then put that out, and then a few days later, we ended up re-recording it for the album that we're working on, and that is the version you're going to hear now.
Oh, cool, okay. All right, so let's cue it up. This is Beneath These Words from Cambion here on The Hidden Track on RageRockRadio.com.
RageRockRadio.com. The heaviest place on the internet.
Midnight Friday night with the city glow scorching the sky. She's staring through me and I'm wondering why she sighs. With a shock of raven hair and eyes that just might glow. Her soul might scorch me, but I'd die to have a go. Set a watch on the door. Realize these seconds fall. Trace the meaning and the code. Every breath beneath these words. I'm yours, I swear. Signed, sealed, delivered. Name your terms and I will surrender. Oh, oh, oh. Taunt me, break me, go ahead and shake me, deceive me, hurt me, try and burn me. I don't care. Quip on art, smooth my way into grace. Tell her tales have never been. She cuts right to the chase. Catch me in her searchlight eyes and my regal tale seems stale. But if the details shine, it's a story she'll inhale. Keep a watch on the door. Realize these seconds fall. Trace the meaning and the code. Every breath beneath these words. I'm yours, I swear. Signed, sealed, delivered. Name your terms and I will surrender. Oh, 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 oh. Taunt me, break me, go ahead and shake me, deceive me, hurt me, just try and burn me. I don't care. I'm yours. and shake me, deceive me, hurt me, just try and burn me. I don't care, I'm yours. I'm yours, I swear, signed, sealed, delivered. Name your terms and I will surrender. I'm yours. Taunt me, break me, go ahead and shake me, deceive me, hurt me, just try and burn me. I don't care, I'm yours. Trace the meaning and the code, every breath beneath these words.
Trying to find that special instrument with great service? Indie Music Store in Milford, New Hampshire has what you need. 603-673-2733. New and used instruments, sheet music and books, student rentals, trade-in and consignment. Owned and operated by Jeff Harrington, a custom drum maker who specializes in drum sales, repairs, and restoration. Indie Music Store, located at 307 Elm Street in Milford, New Hampshire. 603-673-2733. Or visit them on the web at indiemusicstore.biz. Indie Music Store, independent store for independent musicians.
Looking to amp up an event or party? Call Loudkeeper Sound.
In New Hampshire.
603-289-1409.
Indoor-outdoor concerts, festivals, public address speaking, conference meetings, outings and parties and more. 603-289-1409 or on
MySpace at myspace.com/loudkeeperaudio.
top quality sound reinforcement for all your event needs. Drumlin Down Studios. Located in the foothills of New Hampshire Seacoast, Drumlin Down Studios is a state-of-the-art recording studio for all your recording needs at prices you can afford. Call 603-580-5339 or visit Drumlin Down on the web at drumlindown.com. No project is too large or too small. Call 603-580-5339 for information. Drumlin Down Studios.
All right, that was Beneath These Words. Was that the, did I get the title right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Beneath These Words from Cambion here on the Hidden Track on RageRockRadio.com. So, we were kind of talking a little bit while the song was playing, and you guys have a nice big sound. It really kind of fills the room. And you had mentioned, Charlie, about the your producer and engineer. Where did you guys record?
Well, we're recording with our friend Jeff Kessler, who has kind of a studio set up in his apartment that we've been working on it in there. And he, ever since the beginning, he's been keep surprising us after one surprise after another of how great each song is turning out.
Yeah.
Well, we surprised him a little bit, too. This album that we're working on now actually originally started as a 3-track demo, then ballooned to a 5-track EP. And then, we just kept on writing new songs that we wanted to put on, and when we play them for Jeff, he, would demand that they're on the album.
Really? Yeah.
So, because we already had the work done for the other ones, it just kept getting bigger and bigger. Now I think we're 8 or 9 tracks. So
I think it's 9, and then there's another few more that we'll probably end up getting on it once we talk to him about it.
So tell us about the album. Any kind of timetable on that, or it's done when it's done, or
we're shooting to get it done by the end of the year.
Okay.
We've been working on it for a while now. Not too terribly long, but we're shooting for the end of the year, and hopefully it's going to be a decent. We're hoping to use it to shop around and maybe get some distribution.
Sure. And how many tracks are going to be on it ultimately, or do you know yet?
That's a really good question. Ask us in a month or two, and maybe then we can give you a real answer.
Depends on how many songs we write between now and then.
Yeah.
Sure. And now, is this your first album, or do you guys have anything else out?
This is going to be our first release.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the first release we're actually going to own up to.
Yeah.
There have been other smaller releases along the way, but we've hunted down all those copies and destroyed them.
Understood. Now, you guys you're essentially a Boston-based band, right? But you're actually kind of spread out, right? Geographically.
I wouldn't say that. Right now, our drummer and our keyboard player, Jake and Sean, they're in New York right now working while we finish the CD. And then, of course, we have, like we mentioned before, we have a gig in New York coming up. And we'll be
September 18th, Pussycat Lounge. Everyone be there.
Yeah.
And you guys from Michigan, too.
Michigan, yeah.
We're totally worth the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That was random. And what else do you guys have lined up as far as shows? Or are you just kind of...
just kind of concentrating on working on
Yeah.
the CD, and then when that's released, wherever it sells the best, go there and tour there. That's
Sure.
kind of the plan.
Sure. Okay. And have you guys toured a lot outside of Boston? Like, have you played New York before, other places?
This is going to be our first show outside of Boston, actually.
Really?
Since we got
Oh, no
together.
kidding.
Yeah.
Oh. How many shows have you guys played so far, would you say? Because when I saw you live, it seemed very tight. You definitely look like an experienced live band up there. So
I'd say I'm trying to count them all in my head quickly without.
we don't need an
10
exact
or 12.
figure, but
Yeah, 10 or 12. This is it would be like our 10th or 12th
that's
show.
it, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay, I'm surprised. Yeah, because when I saw you live, it seemed like you'd been playing together for a long time. So, no, that's good.
Yeah.
That shows you've really got something, and that the chemistry is there.
Yeah, well, we're all the guys in the band are actually, very nice, very professional, on top of things. So that's really helped a lot in getting, our sound so tight so relatively quickly.
Yeah. Plus, we're also all friends, so we go up on stage. For me, it's just like hanging out with my friends. Only
Right.
there's still 50 or so other people standing in front of us.
Right. What's the biggest or the best show that you've played so far? Is there one that really stands out where there was a ton of people, or you opened for somebody really cool? Or
I'd say probably the one we mentioned before with the guys OK Captain and the
Yep.
Ex-Girlfriends, just because it was a show that we kind of were running, I guess. So we were calling the shots, and it was like I mentioned before, like on stage it's me hanging out with my friends.
Right.
Even it was the same kind of atmosphere too. Like everybody was there hanging out, having a good time, and it was just really relaxing. The venue itself was really cool, and helped
It was
us
our
out a
first
lot.
billing. We actually got
Oh,
up on
yeah,
the sign outside.
Really?
Yeah, so
Nice.
the first time we were on a big billboard. Which
that's
is
always
really
memorable.
Cool too.
Yeah, cool. Do you guys have to rehearse a lot? Because what you're doing is fairly, it seems fairly sophisticated.
I think pretty much we've only done about once a week,
Really? Yeah.
and then 2 times a week if we were really hard pressed with some new material.
Sure.
But everything always seems to come together really quickly for us.
Yeah.
So we're really fortunate that we all work together really well.
So the chemistry is definitely there with the
Yeah,
lineup that you
Oh, yeah.
have. That's great. How do we find you guys online if people want to know what Cambion is up to? And
The best way would be to go to cambionband.com,
okay,
and that takes you right to our MySpace,
okay,
where you can listen to the music, see what's up,
mm-hmm.
and even
Drop
chat,
us a line.
Yeah, chat with us.
Yeah. Anything else, you guys, on Twitter or anything like that? Or that seems to be the
Yeah,
big
actually, we
thing
do
now.
have a Twitter. It's Cambion. It's Cambion Band is our username,
Okay.
and
I believe that's following the work on the album.
that's
Well,
following the work on
Oh,
the album
okay,
or anything
cool.
that has to do with Cambion.
Oh, good. Okay. And let's see. Before we wrap up, so album, you're shooting for the end of the year,
Shooting for the end of the year.
Yeah,
Okay.
the season would be nice, but let's say the end of the year to be safe.
right?
Season's
Right.
already over.
Oh, I meant the end of the fall, but okay.
Okay. And let's mention that show again in New York because that's important.
Yeah, that is the Pussycat Lounge in Manhattan
Okay.
on September 18th.
Do you know who else is on the show?
Not right now, no.
Not yet.
It's
Okay.
still in the works.
And is that 21 plus? or
It
do you
is,
know?
unfortunately.
21
yes.
plus, yeah.
Okay. All right. So all our listeners in Michigan, be sure you.
Oh,
make
yeah.
it to,
Yeah,
course.
travel down.
It's only like a, 7-hour drive,
Oh, it's worth it.
13 or 14, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, well,
it shouldn't be bad.
Whatever, take a plane, Cool. Well, listen, Matt and Charlie want to thank you guys for being here with us this week.
Yeah, thanks for having us
Thank
on.
you
It's been
for
great.
having us.
No
Yeah.
problem at all. And what do you guys want to play to wrap up the show?
Well, we got another song that we brought. It's called Sincerity is for Hacks.
Okay.
Why don't we play that?
Sincerity is for Hacks. I like the title. That's cool. And that will be on the album, I assume?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
cool. All right. Well, guys, thanks for being here. And we're going to wrap up with Sincerity is for Hacks by Cambion here on the Hidden Track on RageRockRadio.com. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
RageRockRadio.com. The heaviest place on the internet.